this is Sarah Voss, Director of Community and Neighborhood Development, here for another episode of Metro Musing. And today I've got with me Harley Gifford, who is our legal counsel for the district. And we're going to be talking about tracts. So, Harley, let's get started. What is a tract?
Thanks, Sarah. So a tract is a real estate boundary line that was put in place during the development of Pueblo West. The tract boundary contains within it several blocks, and within each of those blocks are lots. And if you own a home or a business in Pueblo West, your lot is where you currently live.
Awesome. And how many tracts are there?
There are approximately 117 tracts within the Pueblo West Metropolitan District boundaries.
Wow, that's a lot. So if I was a homeowner or business owner, how would I know what tract that I lived in?
So recently, the Metro District created a map where you can look up your property. And while looking up your property, you can click on the tract that you live in, and that will tell you what tract you're in.
Okay, great. So I just pulled the map up here, and we clicked on this blue boundary, and it pulled up tract 346. So right here, that gives us some stats, some percentages, and some information that we'll talk about in a second.
Correct.
Great. So let me bring it back to us. Okay, so next question. So what is the difference between a tract and zoning?
So a tract, we've already discussed that. Zoning is determined by Pueblo County, and zoning determines what you can and cannot do on your property. For example, if you have a lot that's located in a B1 or B4 district, that's for business. If you live in an A1 or an A3, that's considered agricultural. You can probably have horses on your property if you have more than an acre. If you live in a residential, you're most likely going to be zoned R1 all the way up to R5, depending on if it's a duplex, a single family dwelling, apartment, etc.
Okay, great. And as we all know, in Pueblo West, we have to abide by the Declaration of Reservations, and there's certain rules that apply depending on where you live, if it's in a business zone or a residential zone. But I've learned that these 117 tracts also have their own set of declarations of reservations. So what's the difference between a tract rule and a Pueblo West rule, and what does all of that stuff mean?
Sure. So the Declaration of Reservations were created by Robert McCulloch when he founded Pueblo West Metro District. He put in a Declaration of Reservations to cover the entire Metro District. As each tract was developed and built out, specific covenants and declarations of reservations were put on each tract. So if you live in a residential, your covenants may be a little bit different than, say, a business district.
Got it. So those declarations of reservations for my tract that I live in have really specific things about them versus just kind of the general overlay, it sounds like, of those reservations.
That's correct.
Okay.
And if you want a copy of the specific Declaration of Reservations for your tract, as well as the Declaration of Reservations for all of Pueblo West, feel free to contact somebody at the Metro District and Community Development. We have those. We can email them to you for your reading.
Yeah, and they're on our website as well, and we'll post that below. So the last question I had is, what does it mean for a tract to be 90% built out, and how do I find that information?
Sure. So in the Declaration of Reservations on page 27, it states that once a tract is 90% built out, the Committee of Architecture will no longer have enforcement authority over that tract. The way to determine whether or not your tract is 90% built out is to go to our interactive map, click on the area where you live, and if we can see the map, you'll notice that some tracts are at 9%, some tracts are already at 93%.
Okay.
That is what we refer to as 90% built out.
Okay, so I'm highlighting here this tract, for instance, is 63% built out, and there's so many lots occupied, so that's where we find that information.
Correct, and the meaning of built out means that if it's a residential or agriculture, a house has been built on that lot, or if it's in a business area, a business or a commercial building has been placed on that lot.
Great, awesome. This is a really great map. It's brand new, and it's available for you to start using and clicking around. Check out our website. We're adding new tools and resources. Even more information, we're happy to help you. So thanks for joining us again for another Metro Meeting.